And welcome to episode 528. There's my shoe. That was my shoe.
Was it?
Yes, I swear to God, that was my shoe.
I thought someone lit up in the other room.
No, that was my shoe. I can't reproduce the noise, of course, but I swear it was my shoe.
Wow.
Welcome to 528 of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian, and this is the only podcast that says...
Who the fuck is Jason Aldean, and why is he all over my timeline?
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never heard of this motherfucker before, now on my timeline. Twitter and Facebook.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. From what I understand, the dude apparently is a country singer who's released a song that some people think is pro-lynching and some people think is just about good old American values.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a...
That's terrible.
It is. Like, and I'll freely admit, one, I've never listened to this song, so I have no opinion on it, but I just wish people would fucking stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, wow. So, yeah. That's been my timeline all fucking week.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's a vast... Like, there's a huge difference between a song being pro-lynching and wholesome American values. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, some people think that's one and the same.
true. I will give you that. I understand that. But, I mean,
It's
like...
the worst.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I've never listened to the fucking song. I don't plan on listening to the song. I don't
To
care.
listen to it myself.
Huh?
I'm going to listen to it myself later.
Yeah. Well, you enjoy that.
Well, I'm going to...
But,
hear what all the sheep is.
yeah. Like, I just don't give a fuck. It's just, it's like this thing of, like... Like, why is this like...
Yeah. No.
I don't know. Because we need to be pissed off. We all need to be pissed off about something, I guess. So let's pick this song.
Sure.
That's the new thing to be pissed about. So, how are you?
Oh, I'm still fighting this fucking...
It's horrible.
Oh, I don't know what this is.
I don't know either.
No idea.
Fucking jungle throat.
It is the worst.
Just like malaria.
Right, West now.
Yeah.
What the fuck it is? Won't leave my system though.
Bird flu.
It won't leave my system.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So there'll be a whole nother episode of Ian hacking through it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Thad will thoroughly
Nothing.
enjoy that.
Nothing I can do.
Yeah. I feel good.
I mean, I feel okay.
Yeah, you just coughing.
Yeah. It's in my ear and fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just over it.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it does. It's the worst.
I mean, there was that one winter you and I had battling coughs.
Yeah.
And we were like doing the podcast and just hacking through it. And it was like...
That lasted a while, too.
It did, yeah. That was like a good, like, 2 months of just
Yeah.
chaos. And I'm like, oh, the worst. You're trying to talk, I'm hacking. I'm trying to talk, you're hacking.
It's a nightmare.
It is.
Anyway.
Outside of that,
Watch Bird Box.
did you the Barcelona?
Yeah, wasn't impressed.
Well,
Nah. That was kind of dumb.
yeah. It's the same old, like the same as the first one, just in Spain.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I had forgotten what the first one was.
Yeah.
I thought I liked it.
Yeah, we both liked it a lot.
That's the one with Sandra Bullock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this just
Had to stay blindfolded and everything, yeah.
this just goes down like a weird path.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me to follow.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like, I ended up fast forwarding to the end because I
Yeah.
just really wasn't not interested at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was kind of a letdown.
That sucks.
Because I can remember watching that Sandra Bullock one. I really liked it.
Yeah.
But this was...
Meh.
Do you want me to go on with it? Or
Hey, if you want to, sure. I mean,
so there's this guy and this little kid.
yeah.
They're in Barcelona.
Yeah.
And it's throughout the movie, they're telling the backstory of this guy and this little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And the mother at one point.
Right.
And they show the people committing suicide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All this stuff. That was the cool part.
Right.
Then come to find out, like, he's getting into these little communities of 6 to 10 people. And he's taking their blindfolds off. So the aliens are actually using him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he thinks he's doing it for salvation. I don't know. It's just it's a different take on it.
Yeah.
And then like he can see like he's been like they don't bother him because they know that he's getting victims for them.
Right.
And the little girl is just in his head. Or it's the aliens or whatever
Yeah.
using the little girl to make him do these things.
Yeah.
And he finds redemption at some point. It's just
That sucks.
yeah. It's not what you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I mean, it's tough. I get you're trying to like twist the premise on its head a little bit.
Yeah.
So I respect that aspect of it, but at the same time, if it's poorly executed,
Yeah, it just wasn't good.
yeah,
I just couldn't get into it. So, you know, the ghost of a little kid, that's been done.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just was not interested at all. I couldn't get through it.
yeah, that sucks.
So, there was that. Strange New Worlds was good.
Yeah, another fantastic episode.
Yeah, the Walking Dead episode was good. So.
Was it?
Yeah, I think that's all I watched.
I watched a documentary today.
Mm-hmm.
It was called The Redeem Team,
Okay.
and it was about the 2008 Olympic basketball team.
Okay.
For those who don't know, like in 2004, the Olympic basketball team did not win a gold medal. They got the bronze. And you think to yourself, yeah, so what? Well, at that time, the United States had won 9 out of 10 gold medals in basketball, and they were like 84-1 in Olympic play. And the only loss is a controversial loss to Russia in 1972,
Yeah.
where they reset the clock at the end of the game, and Russia ended up getting, the basket to win the game.
Yeah.
Like it's hugely controversial, but that was their only loss up to that point. And so it was like one of those things where like for Team USA to go into Olympic play with, quote unquote, the best players in the world and come out with a bronze medal was unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
And, we as Americans, like basketball is the one sport that we claim is ours. Like football is, I guess baseball too, but baseball became such a global sport so fast that it's kind of, even as America's pastime, it's not. It's the world's game. And basketball has become that, but it's like that one sport that we just claim like we are the most dominant country when it comes to basketball.
Yeah.
And so to come out with the bronze medal was completely unacceptable to people. And, I mean, they lost to Puerto Rico that year. You know, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, you fast forward to, like, 2008, and this was the year, like, much like the Dream Team, and we've talked about the Dream Team a lot, like, the Redeem Team was, like, that was Dwayne Wade, that was LeBron James, that was, Kobe, that was Carmelo Anthony. Like, it was like that generation of guys. And some of them had been on the 2004 team, and they were trying to redeem themselves for that loss. Like, LeBron was on that team. I think D. Wade was on that team. I think Carmelo was on that team, and Carlos Boozer was on that team. So, like, those four guys came back, and then, like, they called in Kobe. Like, they're like, you know, we need a veteran leader. And, like they tell the story, like, you know, we're in training camp in Vegas. And we go out, we're coming in at 5 o'clock in the morning, and Kobe's going downstairs to the gym to work out. Like, that's how serious Kobe was taking this. You know? So, it was stuff like that. Like, it was very interesting to, like, what it makes me wish is, and I know you can't do it the way you did The Last Dance, but I'd love to see a Last Dance style documentary about Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, everything they talked about Kobe was like this guy's just, like, he had no friends. None. Like, he went into that game, he went into a game against Spain, the first game against Spain, and he said, I know what they're going to do, and I'm going to go through Paul Gasol. And Paul Gasol was his teammate on the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like, they had won championships together. And he's like, I am going to just go right the fuck through Paul Gasol. Watch. And he's the last screen. I'm just going to take him the fuck out. First play, they show it. And I remember, Kobe trucks him. Completely trucks him. And takes the foul. But, I mean, like, it was like, that's the play that, like, everyone was just like, okay, yeah, this is serious.
Yeah.
Like, you know. And he just laid out his own fucking teammate. You know. So, you know. And, like, Paul Gasol was like, me and Kobe were close. Like, you know, on the team. Like, we were, you know, so when he did that, I was in shock. You know. Like, it sent a message to everybody. It sent a message to me. It sent a message to my team. It sent a message to his team.
Yeah.
That we ain't fucking around.
Yeah.
You know. And it's shit like that was, like so interesting to hear, like, even like to hear him talk about, like, the first time I went to the Olympics, I was just kind of like a tag along. I didn't know what I was doing. It's like this time, like, I learned by watching Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's amazing. Like, when you're sitting there, you know, you're looking at greats. You learn to emulate one of the all-time greats. And he's like, it's a really good documentary. It's on Netflix. I really, really liked it. And it makes me wish and hope that at some point somebody puts together a documentary about Kobe Bryant. Because, like, as much as you and I have talked about, like, the greatness of Jordan and the killer instinct of Jordan, Kobe Bryant had that. Like when you ask me, like, Jordan's one and Kobe's a close two.
Yeah.
You know, like why is LeBron not on my top 5? Because he's not a stone cold killer. Everybody on my top 5 was a stone cold killer.
Yeah.
You know, Jordan, Kobe, Bird, Magic, you know, and probably you know, Kareem, like, that I've ever seen. Like, all of them, stone cold killers. Every single one of them. Interesting documentary, and I enjoyed the hell out of that.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I started watching season 2 of Foundation. That's on Apple. That show is confusing as fuck. Because it deals it's like using math to predict the future and using mathematical models and, like, it's very hard time kind of, like, processing it sometimes. I have to sit there and think about, like, okay, what the fuck did they just say? What did I just watch?
Yeah.
Because something's not adding up in my head. And also the way it jumps in time, but yet the characters remain the same.
Okay.
Because, like, with Lee Pace as an example, Lee Pace is the Empire. But there's 3 of them because they're clones of the first Emperor.
Okay.
So there's Dawn, Day, and Dusk. Dawn is like the child version of the Emperor. Day is the mature adult version of the Emperor, and Dusk is the old man version of the Emperor.
Okay.
And as they age, they go from one to the next to the next. And then when Dusk dies, they bring out a new clone for Dawn, and they start the cycle over again. So it's like this odd thing. Like Lee Pace is played in this in a season and a third. He's played 3 different versions of the same character, essentially, because as he ages, he changes. It's and like so they've jumped like 180 years, but it's still Lee Pace, but he's playing like a different version of the character than he was the last time you saw him. So it can be that kind of shit can get confusing, and you're trying to wrap your head around like, okay, well, what made them decide to do this? Like I feel like maybe I need to go back and rewatch the first season to kind of wrap my head around it a little bit. Because like I'm watching the second too, I know what's going on, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like, what? I need more information. And it's based off of books by Isaac Asimov, but I never read the Foundation books at all. I only read like the iRobot stuff. I've seen like talk about it. Like it's not like this has nothing to do with those books. It's Foundation in name only.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah, so that's been interesting. That's basically been it. I'm trying to think. No, that's basically it.
Cool.
Yeah, as far as what I've been watching.
Yeah, it's a pretty dead week.
Yeah, I mean, what makes it worse is it's Comic-Con weekend,
Yeah.
and there's no news out of Comic-Con
No.
because of the writers and actors strike. Like everything that they were planning on showing. Like I know they were talking about like the new Godzilla Kong movie they were gonna have like a sizzle reel for or something like that got pushed out. I guess they were doing a panel for Dune that got pushed out. You know, Marvel's not there, DC's not there as far as movies go. So like nothing's really kind of come out from Comic-Con this week that you kind of want to go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of a bummer. And not only they're talking about possibly moving movies because of the strike.
Yeah.
Like they're talking about pushing Dune back to next year, which will piss me off.
Yeah.
Because everyone, you know, you push the first movie around so fucking off. So I, you know, feel like I was never going to see that. Now I'm getting the same treatment with the second movie, which seems apropos, I guess. But, you know, it's stuff like that they're talking about starting to move movies around because you're not going to get the cooperation from the actors to support it and that. So,
yeah, I wonder what's going to get delayed.
yeah. But also, like, this year, like, the box office is way down. Like, major movies that you thought were going to be hits haven't done as well.
No.
No, I think they're kind of hoping that Barbie and Oppenheimer this weekend. This has been a weekend everybody's kind of had circled on their calendar. You know, that it was going to save the box office. And I don't know how well either movie's doing. I know a lot of people have gone to see both.
Yeah.
Which I find odd.
The girl saw Barbie yesterday.
Yeah. Like, I'd really like to see Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I have no desire to see Barbie. But, like, there's been a lot of, like, speculation about, like, well, what is causing the downturn in the box office? Kevin Smith is apparently like part of what he said was like, he thinks like it's the prices, movie ticket prices have gone too high.
Yeah.
I think the experience itself is too high. Like, not just tickets. Because, I mean, like, in all honesty, if you just for two people to go see a movie now, it's like the same price you're paying for like a month of streaming, for like a streaming service.
Yeah.
But also like you throw in like you can't like drinks, popcorn, like which I know not everybody does, but a lot of people do. I mean, you're talking like for two people, you're tying up $60.
Oh yeah.
Easily. And like if you're talking like you're two people with two kids or three kids, it's even more. But I also think like I honestly think, in my opinion, I'd like to hear yours because you go to the movies more often than I do. I think it's just a malaise of, well, eventually I'm going to see them on a streaming service.
I think that's part of it, but I think a lot of it is expense.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that with the with everything being so high right now,
yeah,
inflation being up, I don't know. I mean, and it's way more expensive to go. I mean, like back in our day, back in the heyday, there wasn't a movie that we missed.
No.
I mean, we would have seen Indiana Jones by now. We would have seen Transformers. We would have seen
The Flash,
Guardians.
Yeah.
We would have seen these movies already.
Yeah.
Maybe the first couple weekends.
Yeah.
We would have maxed it all out.
Right.
Now it's just like,
Yeah.
my $130 can go better somewhere else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I 100% agree. I do think expense is part of it. And I do think, I mean, like it becomes that thing of like where you're kind of saying to yourself two things. I mean, one, so I want to spend all this money to go out and see a movie in a theater, or like do I just want to wait until it comes on Disney Plus or it comes on HBO Max or whatever, which will be in about 2 months anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm waiting 6 to 8 months to see it. I'm going to see it in 2. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy comes out August 2nd on Disney Plus. I'll be right there watching it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, like, for me, it is, I mean, part of it is expense. Like, after I get my bills paid and everything else, it's like, I've got X amount of money left to spend.
Yeah.
What am I going to spend that on? And time is another factor, but I mean, it does become like a thing of like, do I want to spend this little bit of money I have left on seeing this movie, or I could wait and I could watch on a streaming service I'm paying for now anyway.
Right.
I mean, we talked about it like during the pandemic, and even like post-pandemic, a little bit. Like movie theaters are in trouble.
Yeah.
And I think part of it just is the expense aspect of it, and the other side of that too, it is convenience. I think you're right. I could take that $130 and I can turn that into going to see a concert.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to see Indiana Jones in October on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I'm going to see The Flash on HBO Max probably next week.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that like I feel like people have just kind of like they've gamed the system in a way.
Yeah.
But also, I think the other side of it too is I think like the inflationary aspect of it is you have less disposable income because you're paying more for everything else.
Right.
So now my entertainment dollar is that much thinner. So where am I going to spend that entertainment dollar?
Right.
So I think there's a number of factors that do go into this, but I do think the biggest ones outside of cost is just, I think a lot of people, the casual fan, like the casual fan shows up for event movies. The casual fan shows up for an Indiana Jones movie. The casual fan shows up for an Avengers movie. A Batman movie. I think the casual fan feels more comfortable on their 85-inch TV with their sound bar and everything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they feel like they're capturing that same experience they would have gotten in a theater anyway. Right. Like, for you and me, that movie theater experience is a little bit more spiritual. Yes, I do want to go see Indiana Jones. But do I want to...
Yeah.
Do I want to spend that money now, or...
Right.
Yeah,
I hear you.
It's an interesting dilemma that I don't know what the answer is for movie theaters.
I don't know either.
And I mean, the same thing for production companies. Like, not that I want to cry a river for a production company, but at the same time, like, if you're telling me your movie costs $200 million to make, and you're putting another $100 million into promoting it,
yeah,
and you you don't break $300 million, right. Man, you're losing money,
Yeah.
So I mean, but the cost, it's amazing, like, how much the cost of making a movie has dramatically increased, especially like a tentpole movie,
right?
And I mean, pushing technology does that, and
paying the actors does that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But at the same time, like, it was like that thing of, like, 10 years ago, they didn't cost nearly like $100 million movie to be made was like, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it cost $100 million to make. So now that's like, for a tentpole style movie, that's minimum.
Yeah.
And that's like, you're skimping out on a lot if you're doing it that way.
Isn't it crazy?
It is. I mean, in all honesty, it's the reason why, like, a guy like Kevin Smith is still in business. Or even like a Robert Rodriguez. Because they can make movies. Like, Kevin Smith can make a movie for $5 million and get your money back.
Yeah.
He'll make a movie for $5 million. It makes $30 million. Everybody's happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Robert Rodriguez can make a movie for $10 million. It makes $50 million. Everybody's happy. Like Quentin Tarantino, same thing. Like, it's like, there are guys who have learned the art of making a movie and how to do it where it still looks good, but you're doing it physically responsibly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they have enough of a following. Like, those few directors I just mentioned, not only like, the directors of Gen X,
yeah,
but like, they're the three guys who, like, they don't lose money.
Right. Yeah, they don't.
Like, I mean, I think even, like, for Kevin Smith, I think Yoga Hosers even made money.
Right.
As bad as that fucking movie is, I think that movie actually made money for him. You know what I mean? So, like, it's that weird thing of like, it's small risk and it's small reward, but it's still a reward.
Right.
As compared to, well, I'm going to drop $200 million, $2.5 million
right,
into making an Avatar sequel. And, hopefully it does $1 billion in business so we all make money.
Yeah.
That's what you're hoping for with these.
And that tanked, didn't it?
I don't think it tanked. I don't think it did nearly as well as the original, though. Let me take a look here. That's an interesting question. Avatar: The Way of Water. Okay, so that had an estimated budget of $350 million. It made $134 million its opening weekend. Its U.S. gross was $684 million. Worldwide, it made $2.3 billion.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, they made their money back. But I mean, again, like that's a major gamble in my opinion, because $350 million is like huge.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I get it. You can sit there and you can say, like, you know, well, you're pushing technology, you're creating technology, and I agree with that to an extent. But at the same time, there's a part of me that's like, man, that's a
That's a lot of money.
that's a lot of money. Even George Lucas blushed when he heard that. He's like, whew, that's a lot. Let me see here. Out of curiosity, like, so this latest Indiana Jones movie, it cost $294 million.
Jesus Christ, man.
Its U.S. gross is $154 million. Worldwide, $312. So, like, if you include in probably what like promotional costs, it still hasn't made its money back yet, even off the worldwide gross. You know. Now, you compare that to what does that compare that to? Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which was made in 2008. That had a budget of $185 million. It grossed $317 million in the U.S., $790 million
That's crazy.
worldwide. Yeah. So
This movie can't be that bad.
I hope not. Like, I still haven't seen it. I've heard some people say it's shit. I've heard some people say it's fun.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. We
I
shall.
think I'm looking for fun.
Yeah, I'm looking for fun.
What about Far From Home? What was that? I'm just curious. Since you're...
Spider-Man.
I'm just curious about how much it cost to make.
You mean No Way Home?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm looking up Far From Home. Like,
Sorry, no.
No. So that had a budget of $200 million.
That's actually not too bad.
No.
I mean,
Yeah, all things considered and what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Opening weekend, it made $260 million. Its U.S. gross was $814 million. Worldwide, $1.9 billion.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Ready?
Okay, yeah.
Top Gun. Maverick.
Top Gun Maverick.
I mean, those were the two biggest movies this year. Right?
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, last year. Sorry.
All right, let's go here. Okay, so Top Gun Maverick had a budget of $170 million.
That's pretty good too.
Especially,
Tom Cruise knows some people, man.
he knows some people. I think the government gets involved in it. Yeah. Opening weekend, it made $126 million. Its total gross in the U.S. was $718 million, and worldwide, it made $1.5 billion.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now you compare that to the original Top Gun. Like, this will be funny. So the original Top Gun cost $15 million to make. Okay. Opening weekend, it made $8 million. Its total gross was $180 million, and worldwide, it made $357 million.
Wow.
And that was one of the biggest movies of the year it came out.
What about its gross all time?
It doesn't give me that information.
I was just curious.
Yeah, it doesn't like anything after I guess it only counts like what it would made in theaters. Like you're
Oh,
what,
okay, got it.
yeah, like it's not going to give me like what it made like from cable and stuff like that.
What did it make on Suncoast Video, man?
Well, that's the funny thing. Like if you think about it, like there was a market where movies could find, like if a movie bombed at the box office. There were times where it made up that money in the home video market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there were some movies that found their following in home video as compared to in the theater.
Yeah.
I think that's the case. Like, Kevin Smith touts home video for Mallrats as being a major boon. Like, it didn't do well in theaters. And when it went to home video, like it found its market there, and it became like the cult classic that it is.
Yeah.
So it's a funny thing like that. Like that was a major way for a movie to maybe make up some money that it didn't perform well in theaters. That once it hit the home video market, it made that up, and that market really isn't there anymore.
Right.
Like there aren't many movies like that you go and you say like, well, I gotta have that on. I have to have a physical copy of that anymore. Like in all honesty, like it really it surprises me when I see like, well, hey, this movie's coming out on Blu-ray, and I'm like, why? Like at this point, like honestly, like why? Mm. Like how much are you getting at Target for that? Mm. You know, it's that odd thing of like I don't see like even like when I'm standing in line, like especially at Target, because you've been to Target enough. Like they have those like end caps with like the movies and stuff in them,
yep.
And you never see people looking through those, hardly ever.
Mm-mm.
No. Like latest releases will be like right there, like for you to impulse buy, and nobody does.
That's crazy.
It is. It's a strange like, and even like me, like I'm guilty of it. The last movie I bought was Clerks 2.
Uh-huh.
You know, because I felt like I should have a physical copy of that. And like I can't think of like maybe just because I have all the other movies, like when Indiana Jones comes out on as a physical, like I'll probably get that. Because I have all the others, so I feel like I need to have the complete collection. But outside of that, I mean, I can't really think of too many movies now.
I can't even remember the last time we used our DVD player.
Yeah.
Or Xbox, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the other side of it, too, is like I don't... Like, other than the last time I did was when I watched Clerks 2, and outside of that, I don't watch it.
You can find most everything online. You can stream most everything.
Damn near.
Yeah.
There's very few things I look for.
And if you can't stream it, you can rent it for a couple $.
Yeah. Like sometimes I'll find something and it's like it's on Tubi.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to watch it on Tubi. You know, but most of the time, like you can find damn near anything streaming. And it's just that funny thing. And it's that funny thing of like. This is like even I have gone the way of like, yeah, I'll just stream it.
Yeah.
You know, like I fought for the longest time and physical media, but like, and don't get me wrong, physical media is probably superior in every single way. You know, when like there was that controversy where like I think somebody bought a movie, like I think it was on Apple, and Apple lost the license for that movie. Well, you lost the movie.
Yeah.
Because you bought it through Apple.
Yeah.
But when they lose their license for it, so do you.
Yeah.
And so like outside, so I would never like purchase something digitally, but I'll I guess I'm at the point now where I was like, I'll stream the fuck out of it.
Sure.
You know. All right, so getting out of that. I guess it's a we're I think a few days away from training camp starting at this point.
Oh yeah.
I know a couple teams have already reported.
Huh?
A few teams have already reported. I think the Steelers come in this week. Does the new NFL season give you reasons for excitement?
Sorry. Penguins news.
Penguins news, okay.
Yeah, I'm ready for it, dude.
Yeah.
We've made a lot of moves.
I think
We've been busy, put it that way.
yeah, I think it's been a very... And we just signed Alex Highsmith to an extension,
Yeah.
which I thought was a great move. It's been very interesting to see, like, how this has been a very different Steelers offseason. Excuse me. And you could tell that there is a different... I don't want to say leadership, because, I mean, that's Mike Tomlin, I feel, but, like Omar Khan is definitely has his own way of doing things.
Yeah.
And he's kind of taken the Steelers in a way, kicking and screaming into the 2020s.
Yeah.
Like, I know we've sat here for years and we've discussed, like, well, the Steeler way is the right way. And in many ways it is. But at the same time, you know, they've positioned themselves through free agency, rebuilt their offensive line through free agency. You know, get a guy like Patrick Peterson, you put him opposite of Joey Porter Jr., all of a sudden now your secondary is, like, stellar.
Yeah.
Like, you got Patrick Peterson, who, don't get me wrong, I mean, he's not the Patrick Peterson of 5 years ago who was a dominant lockdown corner. But he's still a really fucking good corner.
Yeah.
You get him opposite of Joey Porter Jr., who should develop into a lockdown corner. Micah Fitzpatrick, like all of a sudden, like, your secondary is like, holy shit, that's a good secondary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I saw somebody say, like, you know, the Steelers are spending money in the wrong spots. They're spending it on defense, and they should be spending it on offense. And I feel like the reason they can spend it on defense is because the offense is so young. You know, you've got Pickens in his rookie contract. You've got, you know, Kenny Pickett, your starting quarterback, in his rookie contract. You know, Deontay Johnson, he got bumped. You know, he's your tight ends still in his rookie contract, and Freiermuth, like, Najee's in his rookie contract. Like, you've got a lot of guys on offense you're not spending that much money on, and you didn't need to improve the offense that much. You spent the money where it needed to be spent. And that was on the offensive line.
Yeah.
The skill positions, I feel like, they're there. You know, it's just now, can that offensive line do what it has been able to do for the past 4 seasons?
Right.
And that's protect the quarterback for more than 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, you give Kenny a little bit of time and, you know, let him make a read and make a throw instead of running for his life and trying to throw on the run and, you know, do stuff you don't want your quarterback to do. Like, all of a sudden, like, you've got the makings of a very good offense. Right. And you throw into that, like, you know, if all of a sudden, if your defense is holding teams to 17 points, there's no reason why you can't score 21.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's that funny thing of, like, yes, it's an offensive-driven league, but, man, if you've got a good defense, and it is shown over the years, a good defense can still win you games, and especially in the playoffs win you games.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly think if San Francisco didn't have to put a one-armed Brock Purdy back into that game, San Francisco might have beaten Philadelphia because of how good their defense was.
Yeah.
Their defense just got exhausted because their offense could do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so like I'm very interested to see like how this season plays out for the Steelers, especially like with it's this funny thing of like nationally they have low expectations. Like they're being picked to finish last in the division.
Wow.
Well, because don't get me wrong. The Bengals are the cream of the crop. They're one of the top 3 teams in the league right now. I have to give the devil their due. Now, how much longer they can keep that up, I don't know because, the Bengals have proven more often than not that even when they put together a good team, they're going to disassemble that good team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's the nature of the beast over there. Everybody's enamored with Baltimore. Everybody like everyone's like, oh, Lamar Jackson, he's the best thing since sliced bread, and I still don't get it. But just because he has Odell Beckham now, everyone's like, oh, this is the year. I'm like,
Nah, it's not.
no.
Beckham's on his way out.
Yeah. And I guarantee you, like, the second the waters get rough in Baltimore, he's going to want out.
Yeah.
He did the exact same thing in Cleveland. Like, he was just like, I don't like the quarterback. I don't like the way I'm being used. Trade me to the Rams. And that's basically what happened. And then, and everybody thinks, Cleveland's this is the year they make a move. And, come on, it's Cleveland. Like, I don't give a fuck who they've got. I really don't. Like everybody's put oh yeah, Deshaun Watson. Now he'll have a full training camp, a full season. He'll settle in. I ain't buying it. I'm not. You know what I mean? It's this thing of everybody's so enamored with the top 3 teams. They're kind of like, the Steelers. They're just the Steelers. Well, yeah, they're just the Steelers. That's better than the other 3 teams in the division the majority of the time.
Right.
Like I said, I have to give Cincinnati they're probably going to win the division. There's not a doubt in my mind they're probably going to win the division. Just unless for some reason Joe Burrow is crippled.
Yeah.
There's no reason why they shouldn't win the division. I honestly believe that. But outside of that, Baltimore and Cleveland just do not impress me still. No. And I don't know why other people are. What does the rest of the nation see that I don't?
Yeah.
The love for Lamar Jackson just baffles me. I watched somebody, they posted this video, and it was this play is just absolutely insane by Lamar Jackson. And for a certain extent it is, because he drops back, and he's under pressure, and he ducks a guy making a play, and he does a little whoop, kind of gets out of the way of another guy, and he almost throws an interception. But that's sick. What? He almost threw an interception.
Yeah.
At least Michael Vick would have completed the fucking pass. It's this thing of especially with him, I just don't understand why everybody's so enamored with him. And I look around the rest of the league, and the rest of there are teams the Steelers have not caught up to Buffalo. They haven't caught up to the Chiefs. They haven't caught up to Cincinnati. They, I think you look around everybody's got high expectations for the Jets this year because Aaron Rodgers is there. And, the Jets have a lot of pieces that you sit there and you go, I can see where they can make a run. Everybody loves Miami for some reason. I get it. You kind of look at, again, like from a fantasy football standpoint, the Dolphins are amazing, but like I don't know how that translates to wins.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the AFC South. Like to me, like okay, Jacksonville won that division. It was a bad division. Like, can they repeat that? Can that quarterback? Can he have another? Can he build upon that good second year that he had? Trevor Lawrence. Tennessee doesn't scare me. The Colts don't scare me. The Texans certainly don't scare me. Like I mean, like I look around the league and like, yeah, it's top heavy in the AFC. Like the top 3 teams are the top 3 teams.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you can deny that. That may be the top 3 teams in the NFL with Philadelphia coming in 4th. But like I feel like the rest of it's kind of wide open.
Yeah.
Like I really think like there's enough talent in the Steelers and like I mean the thing you hope is that Kenny Pickett takes that next step.
Yeah.
Like you saw like glances of it at the end of the Oakland game.
Right.
And the end of the Baltimore game. Like, you know, he's making those big plays, those big throws. He's, you know, becoming the field general in those 2-minute drills, and you go like, oh man, like, you know, Kenny's, you know, you see why you wanted him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the hope is, can he take that next step up to not having, you know, 180 yards passing to, you know, 250 and 300 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. You know, can he be that guy?
We'll see.
We will. You know, and I mean, you know, with Najee in the backfield, you hope that offensive line is opening holes so that guy can take some of the pressure off, and now the play action opens up. You know, do you stack 8 in the box? Do you pull the safety up, or do you keep them back because you've got to be afraid of you know, of George Pickens just taking advantage of you deep? Like you look at it, and on paper, like it all is based upon, can the quarterback improve?
Yeah.
If the quarterback can improve, then everything else around him should flourish.
Yeah.
You know, but on the defensive side, like, as much of it is a passing league anymore, like I look at that defense and I think, man, that defense is going to keep us in games.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, you know, they should keep us in games.
Right. Well, let's hope.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, how... I guess that's the frustrating thing is, like when you go against, like, a Kansas City, like, you know it's like, man, we're just going to get crushed. Like, their offense is just so fucking good that, you know, you can't keep up. And, like, your hope is, like, well, if your defense is good enough, like, you don't stop Kansas City, but you stymie them.
Yeah.
And then your offense can make plays.
Right.
You know, like I said, like, you hold a team like Kansas City to 17 points. If you can do that, man, you know, you should win that game.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's that's kind of where I'm at, like, with it. And I look around the rest of the league and, like, I really feel like the Steelers are in a good spot.
What's strength of schedule this year?
I don't even know. I really don't.
What are we looking at schedule-wise? That'll be a factor as well.
Steelers schedule. All right, so they start off against San Francisco at home. Monday night, Cleveland at home. Then they go to Vegas. They go to Houston. Baltimore at home. Week 6 is the bye. Then they're at the Rams. Then they get Jacksonville, Tennessee, and Green Bay all at home. Then they go to Cleveland, to Cincinnati. They get Arizona at home. They get New England at home. They get the Colts. They're at Indianapolis. Then they finish off Cincinnati at home, and then at Seattle and at Baltimore. Now, 2 of those games, the Tennessee game and the New England game, are scheduled to be on their Thursday night games on Amazon. There's the one Monday night game they have. The Vegas game is a Sunday night game. And the Cincinnati game is scheduled to be a Saturday afternoon game. That'll be on NBC.
Yeah.
But so that's like, if you're looking at it from a standpoint of like,
Not too bad.
No, it's not too bad. Like I see San Francisco is going to be tough, but I think they can win that game. I think you beat Cleveland on Monday night.
Yeah.
I think you beat Vegas. You definitely beat Houston. Baltimore at home should be winnable. At the Rams, you should win. At Jacksonville, that'll be a tough game, but Tennessee, I think they should beat. Green Bay, they should beat. Cleveland, they should beat. The Bengals, that first game at Cincinnati, I can see them losing that. They should beat Arizona. New England, who knows? All honesty, like the Colts should be a beatable team. Then they get the Bengals at home, which should be winnable. At Seattle, that's a tough one. Just because you're traveling all the way to Seattle.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what their record is. Like, going all the way to Seattle is a tough trip. And then, you finish with Baltimore at home. And you should, I can see them getting 10 wins easy.
Yeah.
It's that odd thing. Like, I'm looking at the schedule, I go, 10 wins is very doable.
Yeah.
But what do I know?
Yeah.
All right, then. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay, son.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to add to the proceedings there, sir?
I'm good.
All right. Well, remember, there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us. You can send us an email, and an email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. We're very, very easy to find. We also are on a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give them a Google search. You can find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And lastly, as always, I want to thank you, dear listener, for checking us out each and every week. Can't thank you enough for your support. It means a great deal to us.
It does.
And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.